What if I told you that you could unlock this incredible hidden potential inside yourself just by changing how you breathe? Sounds kind of out there, right? Well, today we're going to dive deep into a method that claims to do exactly that. We're talking about the world-famous Wim Hof Method. So, let's talk about the man himself, Wim Hof. This guy has done things that sound, well, completely impossible. We're talking climbing Mount Everest in just his shorts, running a marathon, barefoot, in the Arctic. He holds something like 20 world records for withstanding mind-blowing cold. So yeah, it's pretty obvious why they call him the Iceman. I mean, when you hear that stuff, it sounds totally superhuman. And that brings up a really big question, right? Is this guy just a genetic freak, a one-off? Or is this a skill that maybe any of us could learn? The answer? Well, it's pretty fascinating, and it might not be what you think. So the secret really lies in his technique. And you know what? It's surprisingly simple. It's all built on three core pillars that, when they work together, create some absolutely remarkable results. Okay, so what are these pillars? Well, it's this really powerful combination. First, you have a very specific breathing technique. Then you've got deliberate cold exposure. Yep, we're talking ice baths, cold showers, the whole deal. And the third piece, the glue that holds it all together, that's commitment. It's all about your mental focus. Now, all three of those are absolutely crucial to the method, but for today, we're going to zoom in on the foundation of it all, the breath work. Because really, this is where the magic starts. It's where the most profound changes in your body actually begin. All right, so this brings us to the science behind it. I mean, how can something as simple as breathing, something we do all day, every day, have such a massive impact on our bodies and minds? Let's get into what's actually happening on a biological level. Okay, so it all kicks off with a series of really deep, full breaths, and then you just let the exhale go, super relaxed. This process is basically a form of controlled hyperventilation, and what it does is it just floods your body with oxygen. At the same time, it triggers the release of endorphins, your body's own natural feel-good chemicals. So this whole breathing process really leads to three major outcomes in your body. Let's take a look at each one. First up, you're basically supercharging your entire system with oxygen. Think of it like putting premium fuel in your car. This boosts oxygen delivery to all your muscles and tissues, which can mean way better physical performance and much faster recovery. For any athletes out there, this is a total game changer. Next, and this one's huge for a lot of us, it directly tackles your stress levels. The breathing has actually been shown to lower cortisol. That's our main stress hormone. I mean, we live in a world that keeps us on high alert 24/7, right? So this is like having a powerful built-in reset button that just creates this amazing natural feeling of calm. And the third one, this is where things get really wild. Studies are suggesting that this method can actually let you influence your autonomic nervous system and your immune response. Think about that. By consciously breathing, people have shown they can literally suppress their inflammatory response. They're getting a degree of control over a system that science used to think was completely automatic. That is just incredible. Okay, so the science is absolutely fascinating, for sure. But what does all this actually mean for real people in their everyday lives? Let's shift from the theory and look at the real-world impact. Because for the thousands and thousands of people who do this every single day, the most powerful proof isn't in a lab report, it's in their own experience. And their stories, man, they really speak volumes. Let's take Sarah, for example. She'd been struggling with anxiety for a while. She started doing the breathing exercises and found they helped her feel so much more centered and calm, especially when things got stressful. It just goes to show you the massive impact this can have on mental well-being. Or how about Mark? He lives with the chronic pain of fibromyalgia. Now, for him, the method wasn't some magic cure. It was a tool, a really powerful one. It gave him a sense of control over his own body and his relationship with that pain, and he says it's just been incredibly empowering. And look, these stories are really just the tip of the iceberg. People who practice this method report this whole huge spectrum of benefits. We're talking everything from a better mood and more energy to sleeping like a rock, having way more focus and clarity, even a stronger immune system, and a really supportive community. So after all that, what's the big takeaway here? What should you really remember? Let's break it down one last time. Think of it like this. The breathing is the engine, right? It's actively changing your body's chemistry. Then you've got the cold exposure. That's like the training ground, the gym, where you use that new state to build up both physical and mental resilience. And commitment, well, that's the mindset. That's what turns this from just an exercise into a truly profound part of your life. Okay, and one last thing, and this is super, super important. This is a really powerful method. So it is absolutely essential that you talk to a doctor or a healthcare professional before you even think about starting, especially if you have any kind of underlying health issues. Seriously, your safety has to come first. And that brings us right back to where we started. That big question, is this some unique superhuman gift? What the Wim Hof Method suggests is no. It suggests that this potential for extraordinary resilience, for more control over our own bodies, it might not be something we have to go out and find. It might be a power that's already inside every single one of us, just waiting to be unlocked. And maybe, just maybe, it's only a breath away.